Nestling in the foothills of the Italian Alps, about an hour's drive north of Turin, is the community of Damanhur. Italy is a deeply religious country, and the 180 residents of Damanhur are deeply religious people, but they're not Catholics. Damanhur was founded 10 years ago, a unique faith based loosely on a mixture of ancient Greek, Egyptian and Aztec mythology. The community has its own government and its own currency. It regards itself as independent, not just from the Italian state, but from the rest of the world. In fact, Damanhur's greatest wish is to leave the world altogether. They're trying to book a one-way ticket into space, quite literally, to boldly go where no man has gone before, to seek out new worlds and new civilizations. But the biggest problem is finding a spaceship. They asked NASA, who sent a polite reply saying their space shuttle was fully booked for some time ahead. The letter said that America planned to let a school teacher be their first civilian into orbit. In retrospect, the Damanhurians aren't sorry they missed the flight. Foreign Minister Goboldo, which means elf or woodland spirit, says he hopes the Russians, Japanese or even the French may be able to help instead. In the meantime, terrestrial pleasures are not discouraged. Alcohol is seen as a useful relaxant because if the worst comes to the worst and no spaceship can be found, plan B is to lift themselves into the heavens by osmosis. Damanhur is almost completely self-sufficient. The community grows most of its own food and raises money for things like fuel and electricity by selling homemade products. Many of their clothes are homemade too. The people of Damanhur pride themselves on receiving no welfare or other support from the Italian state. And with herbal medicine and psychic therapy, they even manage to do without state health care. But the outside world isn't totally rejected. Young members of the community are encouraged to go to discos and cinemas in nearby towns. If they still want to stay in Damanhur, then it's not through ignorance of what they're missing. And a favourite drink among the locals in those discos is the Damanhur liquor, a potent herbal brew that, unless taken in moderation, can make anybody feel like they're heading into orbit. The liquor, homemade jams and other products are sold in the Damanhur store. This is the Mayoress of Damanhur with her 2-month-old son. She's the head of the Damanhur government, elected every 14 months. She doesn't want the community to grow much over 200 because then it would be harder to guarantee unanimous decisions. As it is, she says the main problems are internal squabbles and petty theft. Until the age of 3, Damanhur's children are brought up by their parents. Then, until the age of 14, they're put into groups and cared for by the whole community. Once they're 15, they're regarded as adults and can do what they want. They'll be free to get married, but marriage in Damanhur is only a 5-year contract. When it's time for renewal, either partner can opt to drop out. It's taken a decade to build this unique little community in the Italian hills, but still the goal is to leave planet Earth behind. Damanhur has no quarrel with the rest of the world, just a simple message for it. Wanted, one spaceship.